How long do you think it will take to bring these jobs back?
This is the biggest negative shock to an economy that we've ever seen in our lifetimes.
These are not large numbers because of the economy wasn't doing well. These are large numbers because we've shut down the economy.
Inside the numbers, there's a glimmer of hope. I don't want to downplay the numbers, mind you, but there's a glimmer of hope. We had about 80% of it was furloughs and temporary layoffs. That, by the way, doesn't assure that you'll go back to a job, but it suggests strongly that the cord between the worker and the business is still intact.
None of the economic models have ever worked in predicting what happens when you close down due to medical reasons.
I guess about half the states are off to a phased-in start. That's a good sign. Safety is absolutely crucial, but it's not either or. You know, I think it's safety and reopening for the economy. I think they go hand in hand.
If we do this carefully, working with the governors, I don't think there's a considerable risk. Matter of fact, I think there's a considerable risk of not reopening. You're talking about what would be permanent economic damage to the American public.
So we're preparing to reopen the economy, and when we do, I think, according to the Congressional Budget Office and a bunch of private surveys, we're going to see a very strong second half of the year.
And we know it's a risk as we start the economy back open, but it's a risk if you don't too.
You can open an economy, but you can't force the return of demand. How do you rescue those businesses, and how do you rescue those employees?
Number one, vaccine. And the administration has an amazingly ambitious goal of 100 million vaccines by September and 300 by December. But between now and then, testing. I mean, if you take a test and you know that you don't have COVID-19 and you know that everybody around you took a test that same day, you're going to have enough confidence to go back to work and back to school.
How high do you think unemployment is going to get this year?
You know, I think that just looking at the flow of initial claims, that it looks like we're probably going to get close to 20% in the next report. Depending on whether the virus has really abated by that point and economies are really getting going again, then it could start to head down from